Here we go. That's better. Ocean Mike welcomes our very first person to the stream. Wow, the bot's actually working on time for once. Happy Friday to you too, Stormcloak Guard. Ocean Mike hopes everybody so far is having a great day. Ocean Mike welcomes you, Jemmy, and USB Cable. Hope you guys are having a great Friday. Try to get some more folks on the stream so we could have a fun Fish Friday sooner rather than later. Hello, Puck. Welcome to the stream. Always good to have you around. My day has been all right. Not too great, but not too bad. It's been an all right day. We have a steady 2 members so far. Hopefully we can get some more folks. Two musketeers indeed. Make that 3 now. I'm glad to hear that you're taking this time off. I'm glad that you enjoy the channel. It's just something relaxing. Ocean Mike hopes everybody enjoys something, at least to some degree. Bit of a slow start today. That is A-okay. Well, fellas, we might just have to do a stream with only 3 folks today. Sorry for the sniffles, fellas. Allergies are hurting me a little bit. However, Fun Fish Fridays now. There. See if that helps. We usually make it around 10. Highest I've ever gotten is around 300. I think Kyle had something to do with that, though. But yeah, my highest has been around 300 and average about like 10 to 20. But we've had a few very slow streams like this one where we have about 2 or 3 folks, which is fine. I mean, other people have things to do, but I like to give it a few minutes before we get started just in case there are any stragglers. Glad that you stopped by, Stormcloak Guard. Always good to have you. By all means, do what you got to do. Yeah, by all means, suggestions can come at any time. It's just I like to start talking about it myself after a couple more people get in. But if this is as big as our, pardon me again, stream gets, by all means. 5 people? Holy crap. 6? Holy moly. Just as I was getting up to blow my nose. Pardon me as I step out of the room for just a second. I'm going to be sniffly the whole time. Ocean Mike has returned. Sorry for the absence, fellas. I'm gonna blow my nose real quick. Oh, the leafy sea dragon is a great one. What a great suggestion. So we have about 6 folks now. I don't see why we can't get started, shall we? Ocean Mike now dawns upon the mystical Funfish Friday hat. Let its crabbiness enlighten you and bring good spirits. Sorry for the sniffles again. Always around this time of night, my allergies get real bad. Don't know why. Maybe it's because my allergy meds start wearing off. Who knows? Yeah, I'll pull up a picture of the leafy sea dragon. Leafy sea dragon. A beautiful sea dragon. Very cool creatures that are incapable of living without eating for a few hours. Here is the leafy sea dragon. Fun fact about them, they have no digestive organs, which is kind of crazy. So basically, it's also similar to the black dragon deep sea eel, which also has no digestive organs. So they almost constantly need to eat. But unlike the black dragon eel, the males don't have digestive organs, but the females do. I'll get into that in just a moment. I'll just talk about that for fun. However, the leafy sea dragon lives significantly longer than deep sea black dragon eel. And the leafy sea dragon, it almost is constantly filtering and eating in order to sustain itself, as it has no digestive tract. And so they are constantly eating. They form like little clusters around feeding spots. It's really fun to watch because we're just like these slow little leafy creatures all in a big group feeding and just constantly chilling with each other. It's really cool. Electric eels conduct electricity. That's a good question. It's kind of weird. It's like they're able to like use their own body energy. How do I explain this? I guess the best way to explain is like if any of you have ever seen Ben 10 and you're familiar with the dude who looks like a crab with like the brain that opens up, it's kind of like that in a weird way. Like their nervous system like works very differently than ours and it's more focused on creating energy than it is creating thought. So like they use their nervous system like produce a lot of electrical currents throughout their body, which is used to stun prey. It's a little bit hard to explain because like it's hard to think about that physiologically because they're like the only organisms that do it. Well, a couple of the only organisms that do it. Ben 10 was the good stuff. I grew up on that. Sorry for bumping the table, fellas. Didn't mean to. I guess I should also talk about the Pacific black dragon eel. They look gnarly. Black dragon eel. Here's my favorite picture of them. No, I don't want to download the link. Download the photo. Where is it? There we go. Here they are. The Pacific black dragon eel. Their daytime home is about 1,000 meters down deep in the ocean. However, as the sun sets, they migrate upwards to about 100 meters deep and hunt for crustaceans and other small fish to eat on. They are really interesting because, like I mentioned, the males do not have a digestive system, so they only live for like a few days, and they only live long enough to mate and continue breeding and surviving by giving offspring. And so, what they do is they have these little bioluminescent circles on their body called photophores, and they use these to attract mates because they're the only creature that has the specific pattern of bioluminescent photophores. And so others will see it and be like, oh, there's another one of my kind. Let's go see if we can continue our species. And so they'll go try to find each other. However, they are very good hunters as they try to hunt from above and then go down and attack. And they're really good at this because the bottom of their eel body is covered in a very black, leathery skin that is completely devoid of light, and light does not reflect off of it. And so, if a fish is looking up, trying to make sure there's no predators around, it won't see it at all. So, it gives them a perfect stealth advantage on hunting. Bull sharks so aggressive. Well, I guess that they're not really extremely aggressive. That's kind of a misguiding statement. The reason why they have so many shark attacks is because their territory, pardon me, lines up a lot with coastal regions. They are one of the most predatory sharks that live on coastal regions. And so their territory lines up a lot with human territory, like swimming areas, surfing, so on and so forth. And so shark attacks from bull sharks become a lot more common as their territory lines up with humans the most. So they're not necessarily aggressive. We just run into them the most out of all the sharks. And their territory only expands as they can also appear in freshwater for short amounts of time because their gills are capable of filtering both for varying periods of time. Yes, I suppose it is kind of like that, Jimmy. So yeah, bull sharks aren't extremely aggressive. They are really capable hunters though, and they're aggressive towards their prey, but they aren't necessarily aggressive towards everything. They're just aggressive with hunting, and since their territory lines up with ours a lot, shark attacks from them are most likely to happen. Sorry for the sniffles again. Sorry. Any more suggestions, my friends? I saw the mud kipper, but if I believe that's freshwater, I'll double check my facts just to make sure. Oh, I feel a sneeze coming on. That's skipper, sorry. Yeah, they're freshwater. Sorry. Unfortunately, this is the Ocean Life channel. However, if you DM me on Discord, I'll be more than happy to talk to you about it there. But the Funfish Friday live stream likes to stay marine. Sorry. Jiwoo, don't do that, or I will have to permanently ban you from the stream. A gun? Pardon me for just a moment. I need to blow my nose so I don't keep sniffing on you fellas. This is embarrassing. Ocean Mike has returned. Sorry, fellas. A fish that has a gun. Well, there's a freshwater fish called the archer fish, which kind of like pushes water upwards at a very, very fast speed in order to like knock down insects. However, not really a gun. That would be a bit crazy if there was, though. Solodal. Asphalt, okay. Excellent. Okay. The little creatures of the mystery. The epic Mexican walking fish. Is very closely related to the just different salamanders, by the way. I think specifically like the tiger salamander or something. Let me show you. These guys are pretty famous. Pretty sure there's like a Pokemon or something based off of it. Like Wooper, I think. I don't really know. I'm rusty on my Pokemon. Sorry, fellas. They are very cute. They're actually amphibians, believe it or not. And they spend most of their lives in water, despite them being called the Mexican walking fish. They are capable of moving from pool to pool. However, they're not built for land living. They like to keep themselves in muddied waters. Keep the suggestions rolling in, my friends. I have talked about the scorpion fish, but I'll be more than happy to do it again. Pull up a picture of it. Scorpion, one of the most venomous fish ever. Scorpion spider, scorpion fish. What? That's just dumb. They tried to send me a picture of a lionfish. The lionfish was the first result for the scorpion fish. All right, photos, and there we go. A scorpion fish. I'll talk about the blobfish in just a moment. Okay, the stonefish and the scorpionfish are basically the same thing. They're almost the exact same species. They're very closely related venomous species. However, the scorpionfish is far more venomous, but they both have the same habits, very similar appearances as well. Both of them lie in wait on the ocean floor and get to jump on their prey by using camouflage. They lay there, they look like their environment, so nothing's suspected, right? But then they jump up with one quick jump and bite. They get their prey. It's really cool. Yes, they're actually very, very similarly related. It's really interesting. I believe lionfish and scorpionfish are somewhat related. However, lionfish share very different behavioral as well as aesthetical patterns. Yes, they are both venomous, but the lionfish goes about its venom in a very different way. It has venomous spines covering almost the entirety of its body, where the stonefish and the scorpionfish both have one protruding barb and or spine. And plus, the lionfish do not make their homes on the ocean floor the same way that stonefish and scorpionfish do. They do root around and make dens on the ocean floor, but that is not how they hunt. They hunt pretty freely while swimming around because, anything that they run into is fair game. I believe I might have. The blobfish is ugly, for lack of better terms, because almost all species found of them are dead. And I'm not saying that like to be bad, but like blobfish look almost exactly like some species of pufferfish when they're alive. However, they're very, very fragile creatures. And so when they're caught and like dragged up to the surface, they receive major tissue damage, resulting in their big gloopy frown and pink floppy body. They actually do have a set of very fragile scales that keeps them looking very similar to a pufferfish when they're alive. But there are little to pretty much no live specimens of blobfish found. Laney? Oh, yes, there are. Actually, the most venomous creature on the earth is an octopus. It's called the blue ringed octopus. They're very, very small, about this large, and they're very cute. They're like almost kind of like a translucent, like tan and pink sometimes. They're covered with little blue and black rings all over their body. However, in their tiny, cute body, about this big, about the size of a cupcake or muffin, holds enough venom to kill about 30 grown, healthy young men in a matter of like 5 minutes. Yeah, they are known as the most venomous creature that we know of on Earth by a long shot. It's brutal. I believe I've done something on the great white shark. However, I wanted to kind of start with more vague fish because, not as many people know about the vague marine creatures. So I wanted to, start with the things that will lure people in so they can like be introduced to new information and learn about something new rather than just being pretty common information just thrown back at them. But yeah. Yeah, no problem, Kathleen. It's pretty crazy. It's about like they can take out like 26 to 30 grown men in like minutes. Fortunately, they aren't very good at biting large things, which is pretty helpful. And there aren't too many of them. So we're pretty much good. Just be careful. They're pretty easy to tell because they're covered in blue rings. So you see them? Stay away. Blade fin basket, you say? Well, if you are so interested, perhaps I will tell you about it. Blade fin blastlet. Oh, these little fellas look like the what are they called? But the man of wars. Um, oh, what are they called? They have like the rainbow large fins. I did an episode on them not too long ago. I can't believe I'm blanking on this. These guys are very valuable and rare because their fins, as the name implies, look like little swords. However, they are rare and very expensive because they are mainly sought after for tanks, like what do you call them? Aquariums and personal like display tanks. And so yes, they are very rare in the wild. However, you can find them pretty easily online, but for a very high price, of course, because almost their entire species has almost been like relocated, which isn't right in my opinion, to marketing. I'm not too happy about that, but there's not much we can do. Hammerhead sharks live all over the world, actually. They have some of the most. My flashlight is on. Oh my goodness. Hammerhead sharks live all over the world, but need not worry, as they are actually one of the more docile type sharks, despite them being very vicious against their prey. They don't really hunt things that are like seals, which are the main cause for shark attacks because humans look like seals to sharks. Luckily, hammerheads only eat like crabs or bottom dwelling fish. Hammerheads are bottom dwellers. They like to root around on the ocean floor and look for little crabs or crustaceans or lobster. And so they do live along the Gulf of Mexico and around Florida, if that's like an area that you're concerned about. However, if they do encounter a human, they'll try to stay clear of it because they're not built for attacking big things. They want to go after the crabs. No offense to you, Mr. Funfish Friday hat. But yeah, they're bottom feeders despite their cool design and very aggressive looking face. They're actually pretty chill. So don't worry. Sorry for the sniffles again. A swordfish for underwater fencing. I wouldn't recommend it. They are very fast and they can be very aggressive when they're under siege. They do not like being messed with. They're some of the fastest fish around, to be honest. Sometimes they will travel in little packs and they'll try to zoom back and forth in order to get things away from them. They do not like being attacked. Leave the swordfish, blue marlin, sailfish, and the swordfish alone. They do not like being poked with because they got that long, pointy snout to protect themselves. Be safe. Gain in someone. Let's not talk like that. But no, probably not. They like to be free in the ocean. And that's where they belong, free in the ocean. Sorry for the sniffles. Bounce on a jellyfish like Finding Nemo. To be honest, it actually kind of varies from species to species. Um, in a lot of species, the top of them can be harmless. However, I do not recommend trying to touch them at all because what the thing is that jellyfish arms are very, very thin. And it's very common in jellyfish for one of their longer, thinner arms to like accidentally be draped over their head or their top, more specifically. So some people will try to be like, hey, look, I'm able to touch the jellyfish. And they go, youch, that stung me. Because it's really hard to notice that same colored, very thin arm draped over the top of its head. And it might only be one that you don't see. So I wouldn't recommend it, but theoretically, you can, but don't. Just don't. Stay safe. Just watch the ocean and keep it safe. Don't poke and prod it too much. Swordfish, blue marlin, or sailfish. Since they're so closely related, they don't really fight each other in the wild, as far as I know. And if they do, it's for some either misunderstanding or something, but it's a hard one. I'd probably put my money on the marlin, not gonna lie. Yeah, I put my money on the marlin. Well, thank you very much, Number. I'm glad you enjoy the Fun Fish Friday hat. It is a long, appreciated tradition on the channel. Every Friday, don upon the hat and give you fish facts live, as long as you want them, of course. A fish fight club? I don't think so, but I will tell you about the mantis shrimp. I've talked about it before, but let's talk about it again. They are known as the boxers of the sea. They have brutal punches. Although they don't fight each other very often, they only do over mating disputes and or territory disputes. Like, hey, get out of my land. You get out of here. This is my area. They usually can keep territory disputes peaceful. They just kind of like show each other, hey, stay back, stay back. But then the rainbow mantis shrimp, their punches, although rainbow mantis shrimp don't grow very big, they can punch through glass. No joke. They can crack and break glass. Very strong shrimp. Believe me. Let's see what Kathleen has to say. Baby jellyfish harmful? It's an interesting question. Not all baby jellyfish are harmful. Not all jellyfish are harmful, as a matter of fact. I'm not going to try to tell you which jellyfish are harmful and which are not, because I am not, believe it or not, I am not a certified expert, not yet at least. However, it is better to keep your distance from jellyfish, as it's not really a matter of growth or size, it is a matter of which species it is. Because even if a jellyfish is small and infantile, they they're still, because they don't have the same growing process that humans or other organisms do, because they don't have organs and they don't have a brain. They just kind of float as a single organism. They just kind of like split up and divide and create new jellyfish, somewhat similar like what plants do. And so they kind of grow like that, and all their parts kind of grow equally in tandem and just kind of like grow in size. So like all their like abilities to sting and stuff are still there, but it's a matter of like more of what species it is you're touching than how big they are. But yes, theoretically, a smaller species might not sting as much because there's not as much of it to sting you. But yeah, just try to stay safe around jellyfish. They can be mysterious little creatures. All right, I just checked my facts and I'm glad I did, because the majority of jellyfish are actually harmless to humans. And I think that you probably ran into one of the many species that are harmless to humans. It seems to me like jellyfish get a pretty bad rap because there are ones like the box jellyfish and the lion's mane that are extremely big. Well, the lion's mane is extremely big as a blue whale, as a matter of fact. But like ones like the box jellyfish are very venomous and very, very dangerous. So it's kind of like sharks. People are very scared of sharks because there are a couple like the great white, the bull shark, that are kind of scary looking and sometimes can mistake humans for seals, and there might be an attack. The same thing goes for jellyfish. One or two are can be dangerous, so kind of like the whole species gets a bad rap, even though the majority of jellyfish species are just gelatinous floating blobs, and they don't really hurt. And most of the ones that live around American coastlines are harmless, thankfully. It's more in the Pacific, far out Pacific, and the coral reefs out near Australia and the Philippines, as well as Indonesia, that things get a little bit more stingy and dangerous. You only see lion's mane around? The obese dragonfish, huh? How long have I been studying aquatic species and the ocean? I've always been very passionate about the ocean since I've been like 2 years old, but I started like studying it significantly more over quarantine because I wanted to do something very fun for everybody, and I just wanted to like teach like just do something that has a positive impact on like at least one or two people while things are kind of rough in quarantine. So I just do this every day, upload a little video, and then on Wednesdays and Fridays I do a fun live stream for you guys to stop on in, have a little bit of fun if you wish. So yeah, it's just I've been mainly doing this since the beginning of quarantine. Although my videos don't extend back that far along. Uh, yeah, I think I said that right. I did a lot on Discord and I would just post facts about fish, and then I was encouraged to make this channel. So I did. Here I am on episode 70. I wouldn't say fish can do the foxtrot at all, but I bet there are crustaceans that can because they got the legs to do it. Yeah, I'd say so. However, lion's mane, they can grow to be very big, the largest, as a matter of fact. However, they don't grow as large in coastal regions, thankfully. Also, it'd be kind of frightening to see a 30-meter long jellyfish wash up on the floor or beach. It'd be kind of crazy if you think about it. It's horrible that happens to whales, but kind of scary if you saw a jellyfish. Those things are big, stingy sometimes, and scary. All right, we got 2 minutes to go for the stream. And then after that, I will bid you guys a farewell and a good night, or whatever time of the day it is for you fellas. So let's do one more suggestion, and I'll go into pretty good depth on it if you'd like. Hard for the sniffles again. Sorry, my allergies are kind of bothering me today. The rock lobster. If you insist, Jimmy, I'll pull up a picture of the rock lobster for you. No, they do not have. Okay. I'll talk about the jellyfish jelly as I'm doing this. They do not have jellyfish jelly as you might see in SpongeBob, or jelly that you can eat. However, they do have something that's called jelly that makes their gelatinous form. It's the cells that create their floppy and jelly like texture. So, yes, they technically do have jelly, but not the jelly that you eat, not the jelly that looks tasty. It's just gelatinous. Okay, so I got a little bit distracted there. I'll do rock lobster. It's trying to give me the song, of course. There, animal. Oops. Accidentally clicked on the song again. Really wants me to listen to the rock lobster song. Let's find one in the ocean. As these, pardon me, as these guys are one of the most popular lobsters to eat, almost all the pictures that I kept trying to pull up were either of it from Family Guy or something, or it on a plate. And that's not what we want on Fun Fish Friday. We want the actual critter. So the rock lobster is a decent sized lobster that you will mainly find in your like grocery store, fish tank, or whatever. They generally grow up to be about this long, and they are one of the fundamental building blocks of the ocean floor. A lot of larger predators feed on these fellas as their main source of diet, such as groupers, hammerheads, other sharks, such as tiger sharks, love these things. Pardon me, got a little tickle in my throat. And nurse sharks also love them. So they are a very important building block of the ocean floor climate, as a lot of predators like these fellas. However, They themselves eat algae and sometimes the occasional invertebrate. They are pretty cool, despite them mainly being known for human consumption. I will tell you my favorite song as I start to wrap up the stream. My favorite song currently is The House of the Rising Sun by the Animals. I don't know why, I just really like the song. I've always liked it. All right, fellas. I think that's going to wrap up today's Fun Fish Friday. Hope everybody had a great time. I really enjoyed this one today. I'm glad so many people decided to stop by. So, all right. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode of Fish of the Day. See you, Stormcloak Cars. See you, Puck. See you, Ben Kenobi. See you, Jimmy. See everybody that stopped by. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And Ocean Mike says, goodbye, fishy friends.